G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. This is game number 4 in the series between the two titans. We've got Marine Lord who spawns in the north of the map playing as the Chinese in the color red. And to the south of the map playing as the Rus in the color blue. We got Beastie Cutie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 4 of the series between Beastie and Marine Lord. With this, we are on match point. We were on match point last game. Beastie obviously brought that one back through some sort of miraculous play with the French. But now things are shifted. We got ourselves here on 4 lakes, a map with 1, 2, 3, 4 lakes, as you would expect, as the name tends to go. And I guess Beastie's in a bit of a tough spot because Marine Lord has got what is considered by many to be the best civilization on this map. Now, obviously, Rus is absolutely no slouch when it comes to playing on this map, but typically China is considered to be one of the better civilizations on this, or not one of the better civilizations, the best. Honestly, if I was going to do a tier list for this map, I would be saying, you know, Rus S tier, China S tier as well. I think both of these civilizations are very, very strong at the moment. But we'll open up and have a look exactly what Beastie's up to is on the north side of the map. On the south side of the map, of course, there's no hunting cabin. Of course, no hunting cabin. All that wood going down on that juicy dock on the north side of the map. Marine Lord gonna be doing the same thing. He got his own dock out. And oh my lord, look at the wolves coming in right now. That is 4 of the bad boys right there. Townsend are just taking them out. Still yet to get a fishing boat out. He's got one in queue now, so a little bit late on that fishing boat, isn't he? Jeez Louise, it takes his time. We're at 1:42 in, and he's only got that one coming down now. I think there might be a little bit of credit there to... I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but Beastie's build order with the Chinese. Actually, no, we did see that earlier in the series where he opens with a village, and he gets his first fishing boat out at, I think, about the same time. So, I don't know. We'll have to double check and see what these guys are up to. I'm still very curious to see that build order, though, because I think Village First has definitely got some potential, but it's such a big, you know, it's a really difficult decision to make. Like, okay, I can spend 50 wood now and get myself 10 population, or I can spend 125 wood now, so 75 extra wood, but then guarantee that I don't have to put that second house down, or that third house down, or that fourth house down. So, you know, probably by about like the 4.5 minute, it probably does pay off. So it's curious to see that even at this top level, even between the 2 best players in the world, we've got different build orders for essentially the same strategy. But it looks like already Beastie's picked up a fair bit of sheep. Sheep aren't going to be too meaningful on this map, with the exception of course, that bounty that is accumulating. Beastie going to be doing a lot of fishing. He's got the first dock down. It looks like he might be thinking about a second dock, or in fact, maybe some walls as this villager moves out towards this angle. So looking to just prevent any docks from coming up along his own shoreline. So super smart moves there. The other thing that you got to be careful of in this matchup, obviously the Barbican drop. It's something that we've seen many a time here with the Chinese. So I suspect Beastie's going to be on the lookout for that. Now, it does look like we've only had a single scout opening from Marine Lord. Compare that over to Beastie, who started off with 2 scouts. At least if I remember correctly, started off with... Hold on. I take it back. No, never mind. I don't take it back. There's 2 scouts. There's 2 scouts. I was a little bit worried there for a second, but it is not the case. It is going to be a double scout opening for Beastie compared to the single scout for Marine Lord. Walls continuing to come down. We can see the villager moving across, but take a look at this. Marine Lord already moving over to spot this one out, so he knows that Beastie wants to be a little bit more defensive on this pond. He wants to avoid fighting down here if at all possible. Compare that over to Marine Lord, and look at the man go. Look at the madman go. He's going absolutely ham. Imperial Official out already. Nobody on gold just yet. What is that? It kind of looks like a granary. It looks like someone's tried to put down a granary and they cancelled it. Marine Lord, I know you don't have access to the granary, but I've got my suspicions. 3 villagers on gold. Gonna be slowly but steadily gathering up. He's already dropping down the next mill, or rather the next lumber camp. I love it. Super duper early for him to be going into that. We're at 4 minutes into the game. He's already replacing it. Beastie on the other side, still yet to do that out. A little bit more spread out for him. But I love the way these guys are so heavy on wood. And look at this, even also walling in on this spot. And I guess the one thing that Beastie would probably be doing is just double checking that he can't build docks anywhere. So you can see this villager right here, you know, obviously tried to build a dock and he's like, yep, I can fit it in there. And so as a result, it's going to make it a lot easier for Beastie to defend here. He doesn't have to do it full walls. He just needs to do these little segments, and that's going to be more than enough to prevent those docks from coming down. Villagers moving forward, though. Marine Lord going to be looking to challenge potentially the water, potentially the wood line. Typically on this map, We do have wood lines in the front of the base. You can see here Marine Lord's got his kind to the front, and compare this one as well, always to the front, or also to the front. And now we got villagers coming out for Marine Lord and Beastie. Both players looking to bring it down. We've seen this earlier in the series where players come out with aggression, but Beastie now going to be stuck in a bit of a difficult position. The Shiv's going to be coming out, but I can't help but feel like even if one villager goes out, Beastie might be losing at least one, and you can see he's going to have to fall away. Gets a scout for his hard work, and now manages to take the volley. Beautiful micro there from Beastie, so everything going well for him so far. Takes out the scout of Marine Lord, and we do see that Barbican is going to come down. And look at that, we've already got yeah, there you go. Get out of here, Marine Lord. He cancels. New Barbican going to be coming down. He's going to have to push that back a little bit. We can see he's just tapping it away, and now the Wooden Fortress going to come up. Very, very smart move so far from Beastie. He's looking good, and a lot of villagers here as well. 9 villagers. That's going to get a cancellation on it, that's for sure. And the problem is, if Marine Lord doesn't commit to this, Beastie can just cancel the same. It will cancel this as well. Now, I don't think he's going to need to do that. He lets it get up. And now we can see Beastie tries to clean that up. Not going to be successful. Now, behind this, remember, Beastie is aging up. He's got 5 villagers tapping away, still fishing. Marine Lord decides, you know what? Barbican Rush has been denied. We're going to just go with the classic Imperial Academy. He's actually going to get the dock inside the Imperial Academy as well, which is a rare occurrence in any map, I would say. Maybe on Ancient Spires it probably happens a fair bit. But the wall's coming up now for Beastie. He's looking good. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really know what the meta is like in this matchup after the patch. Just simply because of how much it's changed. Obviously, with regard to China, they're no longer the late game behemoth that they used to be. Even before, I would have argued that Rus kind of did well in the late game just because they had that extra range on the Springald. Now, almost certainly, they have late game superiority just with, you know, the main thing, obviously, is the reduced cost of your siege. And then in addition to that, just having that extra little bit of range. So I would expect that in the late game, that for the most part, the Rus should have a very strong position in the Imperial Age compared to the Chinese. But obviously, you know, that's all hearsay. That's all. I'm a man. I'm a man with no clue. I'll be honest with you guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes down and what Marine Lord's going to throw out, because obviously Marine Lord, he's the kind of guy who is incredibly talented no matter what civilization he plays. Even though he doesn't really play that much Chinese, he knows how to wield the sword, and that's what's important. But now we see him moving towards the second pond. He's got down plenty of walls over here. He's been very fortunate with his spawn. Take a look at this. So plenty of natural choke points here, natural blockage coming in. So stone outcropping, also the gold vein, plenty of forest, in fact double forest blocking it up. He's just got this one little spot back here that it does have the potential to be docked up. So we'll have to look and see whether Beastie tries to exploit that. Knowing Beastie, probably not going to be the case, as now we get more walls coming in around the edge of the map. We did see, I think he might, yeah, he originally did go for a dock, and then he's like, you know what, before I go for the dock, I'm just going to secure the pond. And now we actually see Marine Lord moving out towards his position. He'd gone to put a dock down. We can see that. The villager comes out. Beastie going to spot that as well. At the same time, villagers looking to deny the outpost of the front side. And things really starting to spice up in this game as more wooden fortresses coming down. Villagers just going ham, and you can really see just, you know, how important it is to grab this early control with your outposts. Beastie going to be able to deny this outpost, and, well, I guess realistically Marine Lord sort of forces this wooden fortress out, but does lose a villager for it. But Beastie going to be able to get all of these up. Villager continues moving south. We'll have a look and see exactly what Marine Lord spots. Now, one of the things I was thinking about is if Beastie, or what Beastie should have done, is he should have walled this in down here and then deleted it. That way, he's guaranteed not to have any of these kind of things coming in, because there is nothing worse than what is about to happen to Beastie. And look at the players doing this on both sides respectively. Very, very cute. Coming out here, both players looking to wall off their own sides on the edge of the map. But that dock going to come down, and Beastie going to be a little bit upset. You can see he's got, yeah, I'm going to put down my dock. Run. All of that wood, all of that hard work, absolutely for nothing. But we do have an age 3 coming through now. Beastie looking to get up to that next stage. Also going to be moving into archery ranges. So whether that's crossbows, probably not. Most likely horse archers, I would suspect. Villager moving back as well. We continue to see. Now, if Marine Lord was smart, he'd probably just put down another dock right here and just block that and prevent the dock from ever coming up. Let's see if he does it, though. Marine Lord moves back towards his position. He's got the resources for it. I just don't know whether he's got the brain big enough for it. He's got the junk that's about to pop out. With that, should be able to deny this position. So there's no dock that's going to be coming up. Villager survives on 2 health. He's managing to take out the first one. Second one going to go down as well. And now that second dock does indeed come out. Marine Lord managing to find the right play. Scout in the middle of the map, looking to pick up a bit of information. Unfortunately, only going to be picking up a few spears in its backside. Marine Lord looking to go up to the next stage as well. He's only on a single TC at this point in time, but that's all you need when you got this double dock, beautiful thing coming through. I'm curious what direction he goes for, whether it's a bit more of a Lancer-centric style. That's going to be the question for me, but we do see plenty of Warrior Monks now in queue for Beastie. Take a look and see what else he's got coming in through on production. It's just going to be standard archers, which is a little bit, I guess you'd say, not normal. Let's just put it that way. At this point in time, Marine Lord is ahead by an absolute country mile. We can see he's got 3 out of the 4 ponds, and unfortunately, Beastie somewhat walled himself out of this pond. It's very unfortunate, but look, he's going to do his best to try and hold on, but now Villagers actually getting pulled from this position. We do see hand cannon slits coming in, but the Villagers should be able to torch this down before any real damage comes through. Now, he's going to need 2 shots at the very least to be able to take out a single Villager. I think he might be able to get that off. We see the archers coming out. They're not going to be able to do too much. And now that hand cannon slits does come through. First Villager going to be going down. It's his one on the front line. Rest him. Okay, there it goes. I had the wrong one selected, it seems. Perhaps he retargeted or something like that, but did lose 1 Villager for his work, but does manage to clean that up. And I think he knew exactly what was going to happen. You know, the hand cannon slits. It's only 7 range, actually. Maybe it's not that terrible. Walls do come up over on this west side. Villager manages to survive. Beastie at the moment sitting on 52 economic units. Compare that over to his opponent, who's on 69. Got no co-caster, so you guys know I have to say it. Nice. But keep in mind that for Beastie, that out of his economic units, if we just do a select right now, you can see he's got 36 villagers, 8 fishing boats, double that fishing boat number. So that should be 8 up to 16. So that should technically be 52. Yeah, never mind. It's economic population. I'm a special kind of special. We'll say that much. Villager does look like it does go down, unfortunately, losing its life eventually. Sacred Site's now going to start getting taken as well. Marine Lord slowly but steadily just getting moved out on this map. I mean, he had early control. The Palace Guards have come out as well. We can see that the archers are going to do their best to try and cause a little bit of havoc over on this other side of the map, but still yet to find any too much of anything. Beastie potentially thinking about an Imperial Age here as well. Villager trying to get a sneaky outpost on the backside. Just classic Age of Empires 4 things. These outposts, honestly, I feel like outposts are just cancerous at this point. The way I think about outposts, it's just like all that you're wanting to do is just constantly like it's just like metastasizing constantly as many outposts as you can into the enemy base. And speaking of metastasizing, we've got some Warrior Monk who's going to need to come up with a little bit more than what he's got right now. Prayer ain't going to do it, my friend. Those spears going to be more than effective at chasing this bad boy down. That's the best casting I can do. It sounds, because it's painful. It's so painful. I can't believe he gets away. 10 health. It was all a bait. It was a great bait. You got Beastie, aka the Master Baiter, pulling this one out. Very, very nice work by him. And now looking to clean up a Palace Guard. Going to be able to do it. He's got the second town center down. We didn't even see that one until then. How long has he had that bad boy down for? So he's been running a 2 TC operation and continues to wall up. Beastie doing his exact Beastie style that you would expect. And I guess the question is from here, if he goes to Imperial, does he look to go for, I can't even remember the landmark, the Spaskaya? Does he look to go for a Spaskaya here? Probably not, but I mean, he could. It is Beastie. He's a bit, you know, he's a bit of a beast. We'll check in on the other side of the map as the Palace Guards continue moving around. We do have the monastery that's come out. Sacred sites are still being taken. Beastie going to be picking up his second one there. We see just crossbows together with veteran horsemen out for our Rus player at the moment. Palace Guards just looking and looming, trying to find anything they can. Going to spot out this dead scout right there. No chance of that bad boy coming up. Walls going to be interrupted here as well. Marine Lord continuing to push down. Palace Guards do get behind. With that, going to be closing out these villagers, going to be preventing them, and going to be looking to challenge this sacred site on the south side. Now, there's plenty of units here for Beastie as well. So, Marine Lord, you're on a timer, my friend. Get your stopwatch out. 24 minutes. That's where we're calling it. So, whether oh my lord, that's such a big notification. Like, thank you. You don't need to tell me twice, let alone this much on my screen. I'm trying to see what's going on here, game. Don't mind me. But plenty of horsemen coming out now for Beastie. I like the composition that he's going for. Anything that's got horsemen, I'm just a big fan of. Horsemen just feel incredibly good at the moment. Archer's getting off some nice little picks there, looking to focus down the spearmen. Going to be hitting off some poorly placed shots on those Palace Guards, but I think it's about all he could really get. Up towards the north side, Palace Guard looking to try and take on the Warrior Monk. Not going to be successful as the Villager moves out and looking to re-wall up on this position. Beastie just really becoming... I mean, we knew him as Siegey Cutie, but maybe we got to change the name to Wally Cutie, because he is still a bit of a cutie. And it's just that, you know, it's less about being a beast and more about being a waller. So I feel like I'm gonna go with Wally Cutie. I think that's not a bad name. Wally Cutie? Wally Cutie. W-A-L-L-E. Wally. Wow. Yep, that's it. That's it. We worked it out. Archers and crossbows together. Moving back, Marine Lord's got a pretty decent sized force here. Going to be looking to chase Beastie out of this position. We see Siege Workshops going up, so likely to see an Imperial Age coming through sooner rather than later. Whenever you see those Siege Workshops, you know something is up. He's trying to pick these units off one by one, getting a pretty decent job of it too. No Springwood emplacements on these wooden fortresses. We hear attacks happening all over the map. Finds a nice little choke point on the backside here, but Marine Lord going to be heading towards the wood line. There's a lot of production back on this position as well, but more crossbows going to continue coming out towards this north side. He's managed to clean up the majority of the forces here. He's got Wallalols ready for the taking and 5 relics standing by with those warrior monks. Nowhere to be seen for the moment. We do see the crossbow mass beginning to build, though, for Beastie. He's looking a little bit better. 10 archers. Compare that to the crossbows. How many crossbows have we got here? I'm trying to collect them. There we go. Only 3 crossbows. But plenty more reinforcements going to be coming in over on that west side. We do see the junk going to be under attack, or at least causing a little bit of damage. Sacred Site neutralized over towards the east. Towards the north. Still yet to be neutralized. Villagers... Garrison inside that town center looking to fire down upon the units below it, and he manages to clean this one up. So Beastie, not looking too shabby, not looking too bad. I think he's pretty happy with himself at this point, managing to clean up that push. It did look quite scary when all those units were running in, but I think Beastie quietly knew that he had a lot that he could fall back on, and obviously the reinforcements were always going to be waiting in the wind. We'll ride on board with Marine Lord and see how he's doing. Over on the other side of the map, he's got a single town center in the base. I don't see a second one out just yet. Villager count at the moment, 97. He's got 3 ponds that he's got. Have a look at this right now. Let's 43 fishing boats. This guy, I mean, I can just picture him with his fisherman hat and his, you know, baguette. And I'm trying to think of what Beastie said the other day. Le fromage. I think that's what he said. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it means the cheese. Oh, Lord. Anyway, at this point in time, Beastie is going to be thinking about Imperial. Let's take a look and see if we can find where that landmark is. There it is. It's the high armoring going down. So one of the reasons why this landmark is incredibly strong in the late game is not only does it reduce the cost of your siege engines, but it's also going to be giving you a whole bunch of different unique techs you can get access to, including bombard buffs, ram buffs, trebuchet buffs, I think, as well. Mangonel buffs, you get an instant teardown buff, and of course, the most important one, banded arms, which increases the range of the Springwood by just 0.5 tiles. And you might not think that that's anything important, but trust me, 0.5 tiles, that's quite a lot. You ask anybody who's 11, you ask anyone who's 5'11", and they'll tell you how important that extra half inch is. Oh, geez, I've just made a few enemies. Apologies, guys. Palace Guards trying their best to sweep up these units. BC might have to be careful. May have picked a fight at the wrong time. Beautiful infantry ball coming out from Marine Lord. One thing that he is missing is definitely the horseman, though. He's trying his best to clean up these forces, but Beastie going to continue moving backwards. Imperial Age going to be coming through. Springwood in the queue. Palace Guards also coming through from Marine Lord. We'll take a look at Beastie's side and see exactly what he's got coming through, but there's not a lot. Plenty of resources in the bank. Nest of Bees going to be firing off. Beautiful charge coming out. Beastie going to be able to clean up that Nest of Bees. At least looks like he might be able to. The Spear's doing a decent job of defending. Unfortunately, they're too busy, distracted, doing something else. Warrior Monk's going to be out here repairing. He's got a beautiful little choke point in here, holding on for dear life. Streltsy, Knight, Mangonels, everything on the way right out of the dance party on the main floor. We are calling everyone. And, you know, worst case scenario, he's got Wallalols that he can pull if he needs to. But, you know, that's only going to delay. It's not going to really save the day. But it could be the difference between getting out those reinforcements and not. He's got plenty more units where that came from. We see an attack ship that's finally come out on this side. So he's going to be able to begin challenging that western side. He's taken one of the ponds so far, but he's going to need at least 2 to even things up. At this point in time, he's only on 75 villagers. Things not looking good for Beastie right now. Compare that to where Marine Lord's at. He's got 3 of the ponds. Look at the population difference. Marine Lord up by about 50 population, 30 of which is just economic units alone. Things not looking good for Beastie right now. This could be it. Marine Lord is on match point. If he wins this game, that is it. You're not going to see a game 5. You are just going to be seeing a game 4. You're going to see that classic Fast Imperial into GG. It's a build order that was pioneered by Leenock and looks to be picked up here once again by Beastie. Let's check in on Marine Lord and see how he's doing. Not really thinking about Imperial Age, thinking about saving up for a house. 2,800 gold, more than enough. Never even reached Song Dynasty. Marine Lord. Oh my lord, you can't be playing Chinese like this. You can't be doing no Song Dynasty Chinese. It's just, that's not even legal. That is not legal. Hey, you guys ever seen a 20-minute Barbican rush? You guys want to? Oh, it's a keep. It's a keep. It's a keep. Hey, Marine Lord, where's your Barbican at? Where the Barbicans at? Get him out here. Oh god, Streltsy. Okay, so this is really what makes this matchup more difficult, the Streltsy. They absolutely shred through the Palace Guards. Any sort of melee sort of front line that you've got. Streltsy together with Spearman should hypothetically beat absolutely everything that the Chinese player has got. But I will say that is with the caveat that we haven't tested, or at least really tested, the hand cannoneers. The extra range on the hand cannoneers could be what makes the difference. Keep going to be coming down. We'll look to see whether he picks up any emplacements on it. It looks like he's just going to be being chilling for the moment. At this point in time, a Bombard is also out here for Beastie, so he's going to be able to deal with it. And we can see those Streltsy numbers starting to really build up. He's up to 5 in the queue at the moment. Knight's going to be moving out towards his position. Nice little clean up here. Tries his best, able to pick it off. Keep going to be fired upon by that Bombard. Beastie trying his best to hold on. He's not looking too bad. He's not looking too shabby. I think from this position, from the pocket, he's managed to clean up all of the fishing boats over on this western side. So he's essentially evened up the water score. Right now, 94 villagers compared to the 95 of Marine Lord. Marine Lord still has full access to his own respective ponds. Beastie going for double dock over on this west side, so I wouldn't be surprised to see plenty more fishing boats coming out from him. Unfortunately, not a lot of resources. It's only sitting on 129 population compared to Marine Lord, who's on 147. So really getting chased away. Trebuchet looking to unpack and take itself away from that wooden fortress, try and get itself a bit closer to that keep. Villagers moving up towards the north as well. He knows that he needs to keep these siege engines alive, and you can see the knight coming out. He looks to try and get the repair off. He's going to be able to pull it off right now, but unfortunately there's plenty of knights and horsemen. He gets the nice little run around. Beautiful micro here from Marine Lord. You love to see it, but the Streltsy, they all come in. They look to say good day, picking off the villagers as they try and repair up those springles. A beautiful micro from Marine Lord. We now see why he is one of the best in the game when it comes to the micro. Unfortunately, swing and the miss there from the Trebuchet. Bombard, on the other hand, that ain't gonna miss. That ain't gonna miss at all. Beautiful stuff right there. That was very impressive from Marine Lord. Springold's out for Beastie, though. He's got that upgrade. Roller shutter triggers. That's going to provide him that extra 2 ranged attack, or extra 2 range of range. That's what it provides. Compare that over to Marine Lord. So going to give him a significant advantage in these fights. Obviously, once Bandit Arms comes in as well, that's going to be a total of 12.5 versus 10. So significant difference there. So Beastie looking to hold the Imperial versus Castle, but not for long it seems, as Marine Lord drops down the Spirit Way. And I think the question is, what direction does he go from here? Because he's got no Chukunu. We know that because he's got no Song Dynasty. He's got no Fire Lancers because, well, he's got no Yuan Dynasty. And you guys 100% know there's no way he's going for Grenadiers because there's not a chance in hell this guy's got Ming. But I guess the question is, where do we go from here? How does he look to play it? Obviously, he's familiar with the early game for the Chinese, but my fear for Marine Lord is that he doesn't have a lot of practice when it comes to this super late game China, at least in the new meta, because this is something that I've been sort of a little bit fearful of seeing, especially in this matchup. It is that, you know, you've got Beastie, who is an absolute late game specialist on the Rus, a civilization he is intimately familiar with. Compare that to Marine Lord, who is arguably, you know, one of the most fundamental players. He just doesn't make mistakes. Very rare to see him do it. Not necessarily known for his late game play, but rather just his all-round play. But he's on a civilization which has got a questionable late game strength, and he's also, it's not, you know, it's not his main civ. It's not the French. You know, it's not the Rus. It's not one of those civilizations that he's got plenty of game time on. It's the Chinese. And so you start to wonder about exactly how this game is going to unfold and what he actually does in this position. We can see the upgrades are coming through for him thick and fast. He's got forestry, and it's the classic 24-minute forestry timing. Also going to have elite palace guards, roller shutter triggers, lumber preservation, a cannon emplacement coming through, I suspect, on that. Oh, it's just going to be on this outpost out over here on the western flank. Horseman making a run through. Still yet to get the elite upgrade on these bad boys. He's going to try his best to find any kind of villager. Does have the university up. At the moment, 162 population, of which 105 are economic units. Beastie now eclipsing him, up to 119 himself. Under attack from a couple of different angles. We see him under attack down here from the south. There's a trebuchet looking to unfold upon that wall. Not having a lot of luck, though. It's going to be swinging. It's going to be missing. Double blacksmith on the backside here. Beastie looking good, though. He's pulled it back. And now we see the walls continuing to come up across the middle. Going to look to control the narrative. He's also cleaning up the outposts out on these edges. Beautiful job here. He'll probably be looking to retake the sacred sites. Indeed, he is looking to retake the sacred sites. And Marine Lord now going to be under attack on this dock, but fortunately is able to clean it up. Plenty of spears out there. And well, what do we have here? This is just, I mean, if someone said, can you provide a summary of what Age of Empires 4 is in the last 3 months? I would just say this right here. I'd be like, picture this. There is no way into your base. Your base is completely walled off. There is an enemy outpost in your base. Like that is literally Age of Empires 4 for the last few months. It's just constant, like outposts, outpost raids, outpost harassment. Just I eat outpost for breakfast, outpost for lunch. You better believe I'm eating them for dinner. But Springold's numbers starting to look better for Marine Lord. Of course, he's got those upgrades. We'll take a look and see whether he's got his siege health upgrade. He doesn't just yet. Siege works. We'll have a look at Beastie and see whether we can spot out a university for him. I suspect we're going to be able to, but let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. I don't actually see the university, Beastie. What's my hotkey? I think it's F4? F3? Yeah, there it is. There's no university. The man is yet to get a university. Elite Horseman has come through now. Marine Lord going to be looking to wall up this position. He's holding on for his dear life up towards the north. Double time coming in for Beastie. We'll have a look at how many units he's actually got in the bag right now. 32 Streltsy. So a fair amount of Streltsy out from a lot of horsemen. I love this composition from him. You can see him trying to hold on. Nest of Bees out. Beautiful little siege mass here. Bit of a role reversal. You got Marine Lord on the siege mass. Beastie on the other side. Barely managing to scrape together any siege whatsoever, with the exception of 8 Springalds and a Bombard. But we're not talking about those. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the other things. Palace guards on the south side, looking to break through the walls, trying to get to that sacred site. Obviously, without taking the Spasskaya Tower, there's no stone walls coming out for Beastie today. He looks to just stick it with the old faithful, the High Armory. He's picked up 3 out of the 4 upgrades. The only one he hasn't got is Sexy Rams. That's a classic technology, aka Wandering Town, which increases ram damage by 100%. Because, you know, when you're in the Imperial Age, why the hell wouldn't you want an extra 100% damage on your rams? That sounds good to me. I wonder if this is actually a decent... Nah, it's not. It's terrible. Don't worry. If that was like 100% ram speed increase, I'd be all about that life. Could you imagine having fucking ram racing cars in the late game? That'd be sick, dude. All right, well, it looks like we're starting to see what China loves to do in this late game. Palace guards going off on every angle. We've got a couple of spears on the north side. He's got plenty of upgrades here as well. Bombard just going to be firing off some shots. Keep in mind, Beastie still has access to all 5 relics. So he's going to be having that infinite gold trickle in the late game. He's also got 2 of the sacred sites as well. So 700 gold a minute trickling in. He's got Tithe Barns on top of that. I remember seeing him research that a little bit earlier. So he's picking up plenty of extra resources here. Just loving life right now, the Beastie is. But at this point in time, he's yet to really close out this game. And I think the question becomes, how does he look to close this out? Obviously, no access to stone walls. He's going to have trouble with these constant little raids like this. I think he's just got to try and look for one sort of cohesive push. Look to try and take his enemy out. You know, move forward slowly with outposts. Move forward slowly with, you know, get those wooden fortresses up to provide the line of sight. And then slowly push forward with your Springalds, with your Bombards, with your Streltsy. And then obviously looking to try and bring forward your production facilities as well. And then at the same time, you're doing your best to try and manage all the silly little raids that you've got going on at home. Because I promise you, they are not few and far between. There are plenty of them going to be coming out. Speaking of raids, there's another one coming through. And a lumber camp as well. No, it's not a lumber camp raid. You can't do those. Not anymore. They nerfed lumber camp raids. I remember when lumber camp raids used to be all the rage back in the day, but not. Oh, these Springalds. You know, if you've ever seen tunnel vision, this is what tunnel vision looks like. Springalds getting out of there as quick as they can. They're doing a pretty decent job. They hightailed it out of there. I'm genuinely impressed. That was nice micro from Beastie to be able to manipulate the movement speed on them and get them out there extra quick. He did lose up, I think, about 2 or 3. Sacred Sight trying to stay alive. It's like a hot potato right now. Beastie looking to hold on a little bit longer. Looks like this Sacred Sight is going to be neutralized. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. So set your stopwatches back to 0. Back to 0. Springald's moving forward. Banded arms up against no banded arms means that even though you got the clock tower Springalds, it means absolutely nothing. You can see right there because it's just impossible for these Springalds to engage unless it's a brute force engagement. Unless you got some sort of cavalry flank, it makes it very difficult to take them out. Villagers moving to the middle, gonna get cleaned up. Beastie once again getting caught with his pants down. Heads back towards the other side. Springalds coming out. A lot of Springalds in queue. Chemistry gonna be coming through for him. We can see he's picked up Siege Works. He's picked up a lot of these upgrades. Chemistry going to be buffing up the damage that his Streltsy are providing. So it's definitely going to be a good thing for him. Interestingly, hasn't taken the boars. He's got access. There's 2 boars out here. Boar number 1 actually going to get aggroed onto Beastie. But then picking up some of the units of Marine Lord. Beastie tries to get a keep up over on this eastern flank. Going to be successful. A lot of villagers out of here. 26, 24. He's jumped a whole bunch of these into the keep. I think I saw Boiling Oil there. I did indeed. Boiling Oil going to be spreading the love. At the same time, towards the middle of the map, the Streltsy continue pushing out, and we begin to see the wooden fortress crawl that you would expect in placement. Going to be able to take out the villagers before they even get down. That's going to make things very difficult for him, but beautiful micro coming out from Beastie. He's looking to try and pick off those clock tower Springwoods. It doesn't matter if you've got the extra health because your enemy's got the extra range. It literally means nothing because at the end of the day, if you got 7 Springwoods, you're still going to one-shot a clock tower Springwood or a normal Springwood, and that's why the clock tower benefit is just absolutely useless in the late game when it comes to these sorts of Springwood wars. Beautiful micro coming up from Beastie. Fortunately, going to be losing that one Springald. Manages to expose a couple of the other ones on the backside. Keep in mind, this outpost still sitting here with its emplacement. Going to be able to fire down upon the units that are down here. Not picking off any of the villagers. That's ideally the golden ticket. If he's able to take that out, that's really going to hurt him. But now we continue to see the Palace Guards flooding in. Marine Lord on 177 population compared to Beastie, who's on 184. So things are pretty close in this matchup at this point. But Marine Lord definitely in the worst position, and I think it's definitely going to go to the Springalds. The Springalds are really what do it. And this is something that I've talked about time and time again to the developers. I'm like, I still don't understand why you're giving civilizations just an objectively superior unit that has no subsequent counter when other civs don't get it. I don't get, why do the Mongols get 13 range Springalds? Why do the Rus get 12.5? It's the silliest thing. Can you imagine, like, it just doesn't make it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. Because they counter the other units. So it's like, it's ludicrous to me. Well, he looks to hold on. Villagers continuing to go down on the western flank. Marine Lord doing a decent job. A lot of buildings down here. You can see him managing to take out all those Springwoods. And this is the great thing about Beastie's position. You got to remember, he's happy to trade away these Springwoods because not only does he create Springwoods that are cheaper and that are more effective than his opponent, but he's also got infinite gold in the form of sacred sites, in the form of relics. He's got 700 gold a minute passive coming in. So for every Springwood of his enemies that he kills, that is 250 gold that they're never getting back, whereas he is always going to keep regenerating that gold. Now, obviously, there's tax, obviously, there's trade, but the reality is, when it comes to those big trades, that's really what is going to start hurting your enemy. Spriggle numbers still looking pretty decent for him. He manages to hold up and now pushing through. Beautiful little battle coming in right now on the backside. The Streltsy going to look to try and open up on the Chinese player. You can see the elite horsemen coming out. Those are not your elite fire lancers like you'd be expecting. But Beastie somehow, some way has held on from the depths of hell. It looked like it was all over Red Rover. It looked like Beastie was going to be tapping out any second. A little bit early, about 19-20 minute mark, things were not looking good. He was going for the Leenock Classic, the Leenock Special. Fast Imperial into GG, but it looks like he's pulled back on that GG strategy. Beautiful micro coming out from the Beast on the back line, managing to take out every single one of those Springles. A single one remains with just a slither of health, and now those Nest of Bees nowhere to be seen. Continues to fall back away from this position. He's broken through the palisade walls and looks to head through to the economy. Plenty of stables out for his enemy. It's just going to be horsemen. And Beastie looking to try and secure this game. He's holding on for dear life. He's looking incredible. He's cleaned up all the units here. And now Beastie looks to try and push down upon his enemy. The wood line at the front, over towards the west side. He continues walling up. The keep is down. Both sacred sites are taken. I think this might be a good game just at this point. He's in the enemy's base, now sitting on top of the production. We can see he's completely forked at this point in time. There's not a lot that Marine Lord can really do here. Marine Lord on 179 population, but the reality is that things are just going downhill very quickly for him. He's got no real answer to these Streltsy because the Streltsy are kept safe by the Springlords. He can't contest the Springlords, and because he can't contest the Springlords, he can't get Nesta Bees out because the Nesta Bees will die to the Springlords because his own Springlords will get killed by his enemy Springlords, and therefore there's nothing that he can use to counter this. Well, at least, you know, until we discover hand cannoneers with Chokunu. But don't worry, when Marine Lord discovers Song Dynasty, I'll let you guys know because we're still into this game 34 minutes and 40 seconds and we still don't have a Barbican of the Sun. Marine Lord's still chilling in the Tang Dynasty. 35 minutes through this game, 117 villages through this game, and unfortunately, good game does get called. Beastie going to tie up the series 2-2, take it to a final game. Fellas, it'll be the next video coming up on this channel. Do not go anywhere because this is going to be an absolute blast of a series.